2022 Higher Maths Paper 1 question number 5 says a line makes an angle of pi over 3 radians with the y-axis and passes through the point -2, 0 as shown below. Determine the equation of the line for 3 marks. Okay, let's go through this then. We have got our gradient is equal to tan theta. But our theta, remember, is not pi over 6 in this case. If I draw a line here, we need to take away from 90 or pi over 2. So a little bit of work if you need to at the side. We've got 90 degrees minus, well, pi over 3 is 180 divided by 3, which is 60 degrees. That leaves 30 degrees, which is in here. Or thinking of that in terms of radians, that's pi over 6. So if you're not sure what the tan of pi over 6 is or the tan of 30, you can use an exact value triangle. So there's the one that I like to know. If we've got 60 down here and that's 30 up here, you think of this as being 2 and that's 1, and then using Pythagoras, 2 squared minus 1 squared is 3, so that's the square root of 3. We can clearly see the tan of 30 is 1 over root 3. So the tan of pi over 6 is 1 over root 3. Okay. First mark is for writing down that the gradient is equal to tan pi over 6. Not just tan theta, we need to write tan pi over 6. And then our second mark for working out what tan pi over 6 is, which is 1 over the root 3. We now need to work out the equation of our straight line. So we've got a point, A and B. So we can use y minus b as mx minus a. Y minus 0, in this case, is equal to 1 over root 3 x minus minus 2. And we can tidy that up. Y equals 1 over root 3 x plus 2. Multiplying through by the root 3, we get root 3 times y, or y root 3, equals x plus 2. And at that point, we would get our final mark. We wouldn't have to go any further than that. Or if you prefer, if you just multiplied out the bracket, y equals 1 over root 3 times x, or x over root 3 plus 2 over root 3 would also be an acceptable answer. So there is our final mark at this point here, or alternatively there. A little note on where you would lose marks on this question. For question part 1, if you wrote m is the inverse tan of pi over 6, tan to the minus 1, you would lose the mark. You have to write tan pi over 6, not inverse tan. But you still get marks 2 or 3 if you went forward from there. To be very clear, to get your final marks on this, you really had to write m equals tan pi over 6 for your first mark. Work out that, which is 1 over root 3. If you had gotten m equals tan something else, you would lose that mark, but you could gain it at that point and then follow through.